cockpit. Woo. You got your phone now too?
Yeah.
All right. Yo, assalamu alaikum. This is the KIK with Christopher Michael Fenley, the man with two first names. We're about to get into some business, see what's been going on with Chris. Introduce yourself.
How y'all doing out there? For all y'all that don't know me, y'all know who I am. Chris Mike, Team 2 Strong. You know, out here just trying to make it happen. You know?
Now, y'all don't know this, but like we grew up in Eastwood together.
Yes, sir. East Side, Eastwood.
Back in 19...
Oh, the 80s?
When did the Bears win the Super Bowl? 85 or 86?
It was before that, like 84. 84. They won the Super Bowl in 85.
Yeah.
So you say 84.
84.
Yeah. Most definitely.
We was there.
We got what's that? 30 years?
30 years deep in this camp, son.
30 years. Most definitely. 30 years.
Now, peep this out. When I met you,
right,
you started working at Taco Bell.
Right. That was in
up on Farnsworth, right?
No, Lake Street. That was
Lake Street one.
Yeah, that was that was July of '89.
Damn.
July of '89. Yep. That was July of '89. Yeah.
Now, how long were you there?
On and off, I was there 9 years.
Were you?
That was my first job.
Job.
Yeah. I got the job when I was 15. In July of '89, I was 15. And by the time they found out I was 16, my birthday was in 2 weeks. So they was like, if anybody asks you, tell them you're 16. So it worked out for the best for me, you know.
Now, I remember when you worked at the Taco Bell on Farnsworth.
Yeah.
And then when you were about to close, like late at night, you know, like me and Cook would come in there and like you would feed us.
Yeah, most definitely. During my 9-year stint with Taco Bell, I think I worked at like 4 of them. I worked at one in St. Charles, the one in Farnsworth, the one in the Fox Valley Mall, and the one on Lake Street. So I worked at 4 Taco Bells within the span of 9 years. Yeah.
Now working at Taco Bell, how did that help you prepare for business and to manage and operate things?
Well, when I was there, I always wanted to make my own money. I always wanted to be a boss. I always wanted to do my own thing. But, you know, I knew that it was steps. You know what I mean? I knew there were steps I had to take. You know what I'm saying? So, during that time, I was just learning. I just wasn't with the idea of being broke. You know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to make a couple of dollars at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, the latest fashion was starter jackets and Air Jordan, and I wanted to be a part of that whole fashion. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? So I just took it for what it was.
That's Mike's phone in the background. So who's ever calling Mike, stop calling him because we live, son.
Right.
Messed up the podcast.
My phone's stable, man. I don't know. Yeah, my phone does that from time to time. All the time, really.
Now, what made you decide that you want to start doing hair? Because like you just don't cut hair, you also do braids and cuts and everything.
When I first started, I started cutting my son's hair. My oldest son, he's 25 years old. Shout out to my son, Christopher Fenley, little Chris. He's 25 years old. When I first started cutting hair, he was 9-10 months old. And his mom was like, why did you even take him to the barber shop? Why don't you just cut his hair? You do a good job on your hair. I'm like, that's 2 totally different things.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I give it a shot. So I walked over to Walmart, got them little black and white walls that came with the VHS tape on how to cut hair. I didn't read I didn't view the VHS tape. If I would have viewed it, look, hey look, if I would have viewed it, they would have told me about how to use the guard. So I didn't use the guard. Tore them up. You know what I'm saying? So after about my 3rd time, I got used to it and I started cutting his hair. And then the neighbor asked me, can I cut their kid's hair the way I cut my son's hair? And then my kids' cousins parents started asking me could I cut their hair, and it just became what it was. You know what I'm saying? And it took off. That was in '98. And it became something bigger than what I ever imagined. You know what I mean?
What was the first barbershop that like you cut hair at?
The first barbershop. I got my cosmetology license in 2003. And when I got out of school, I was working at 2 hair salons, barbershops. I was working at JCPenney hair salon,
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, in the mall.
Yeah.
So when I wasn't there,
I think my mom used to go
right, exactly. So when I wasn't at the JCPenney hair salon, I used to work at Phase 1.
Okay.
Over here on New York Street, New York and what is that? New York and Farnsworth.
Okay.
So I was working there, and when I was there, that's why I started, honing my craft. So when I started working there, and so I got my license in 03, and I worked at JCPenney hair salon for a year. So when I started working there in 04, I think I probably had like 7 clients. You know what I'm saying? And for me to put a number on the clients I have right now, it would probably be well over 400.
Right. So now, all of the processes you do here, can you name them? Do you do like lots, permanents?
Well, I'm licensed.
Okay.
I'm licensed to do manicures, pedicures.
Are you?
Facials, therapeutic massages, coloring, hair coloring, everything, chemical processes, haircuts, locks, everything. I'm just, because the cosmetologist is licensed for everything.
Oh.
We cover all 4 corners, barbering, nail techs, facials, and hairstyling. So we cover all 4. You know what I mean?
So you just ain't a barber, you
a hairstylist. Yeah, I would label myself as a hairstylist.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's been a journey, and I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Now you work 7 days a week.
Yes. I work 7 days a week, even on the holidays. Even on the holidays, I work 7 days a week, even on the holidays. Yeah.
So why do you work 7 days a week?
Because someone told me when you work, if you love what you do, it's like you never worked a day in your life.
That's like 9 past 5.
Right. Exactly.
8 past 5.
Exactly. You know what? That was never my intention. My whole intention was to. I just wanted to do something that kept me from doing something I shouldn't have been doing. You know what I mean? And it just became something bigger than myself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people look at it like, oh man, when they get on Facebook and they say, man, who the coldest barber, who the coldest stylist? I don't want none of those titles. I don't want any of those titles. I just want to be mentioned in the conversation to where consistency is mentioned. You know what I mean? I just want to be known as a consistent hairstylist. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be the best of anything. I'm just trying to stay within my lane and do me. You know what I mean? Because I'm no better than anyone else. I'm just doing my thing and trying to provide for my children.
Now, how many children do you have? What's the age?
I have 4 children.
Do you?
I have 4 children.
About the loop, son. About the loop.
I have 4 children. I would say 5 because my stepson passed away in 2020, and may he rest in peace. I have 4 children that are living now. I have a 28-year-old daughter. I have a 25-year-old son, a 21-year-old son, and an 18-year-old son. Today is his birthday. He turned 18. So happy birthday, Christian. I love you. Daddy loves you with all his heart.
You got a 28-year-old daughter. We old, man.
Yeah. We old.
Man, that's
I
crazy,
just left from
That's crazy.
chopping it up with her. And she's amazing. She's something else.
That's crazy.
Something else. We have real good conversations, and we have a bond that can't be broken because a dad and his daughter should always have a special bond. You know what I mean?
If you didn't know, I gotta ask you something.
Yes, sir.
Why you got 2 first names? What's up with the Chris Mike? Cause I don't know you about Chris Mike.
You know what?
I be like Mike Fenley.
You know about Mike Fenley. Right.
Chris Mike. Who is Chris Mike?
Like I said, once again, that comes from Taco Bell. When I first started working there. At that time, I hated my first name, Chris, because everybody would call me Christopher. You know, you know me, we never used the name Chris. So Chris, we always used the name Mike or Mike Fenley.
Right.
So when I'm working there was another guy that worked there, was a manager, his name was Mike Pfizer. Shout out to my boy Mike Pfizer. And every time the phone would ring, they'd be like, Mike, you got a phone call. I would go grab the phone, and it would be for him. So the manager there, Roosevelt Franklin, my man, God rest his soul, he gave me my name. He was like, man, we got to come up with another name. We got to come up with another name for you because I'm tired of people always getting you confused with Mike. And I was like, well, don't call me Chris because I don't like my first name because people always say Christopher. They never shorten it with Chris. So he was like, all right, I'll figure it out. So 3 days later, I come in the shop. I come in the restaurant. He was like, hey, Mike Chris, I need you to go drop some meat, right? I'm like, man, what you call me, Mike Chris? Man, don't call me that, man. And a couple days later, he was like, man, Chris Mike, I need you to go grab some lettuce out the back, right? So I'm like, Chris Mike. So their name is stuck, and that was in '89. That was in winter of '89, and now it's like kind of like my moniker, my trademark. So I just embrace it. You know what I mean? So my whole name is Christopher Michael Fenley, but everybody call me Chris Mike.
What's the address to the shop that you're?
The shop that I'm working at right now is called The Shop, owned by Jay Boogie. I'm at 52 South Lake Street, Aurora, Illinois, 60506. Yeah, and you can catch me 7 days a week.
And if you didn't know, my man wrote a book.
Yes.
Tell them about the pages and how you
wrote
the book up.
The name.
Wait, hold on. You got the book right here.
Yes, the book is right here.
Explain this shit right here.
I got a couple of them, man. I got a couple of books.
Explain this. Explain the name.
I want y'all to get a real good look at the book. Let's see. The name of the book, yes. The name of the book is called Men, Women, and Bitches. Yeah, Men, Women, and Bitches. Okay. It's a self-help book. You know, and
why you named it that? Why you named it that?
You know what? I was incarcerated. I was incarcerated when I came up with that name. So
some people might, they might feel offended.
Yeah, and I've gotten a lot of questions over the past. A lot of women always hit me up and say, "Well, why do you refer to just the men and then label the women as women and bitches?" No, I'm because a bitch can be a male or female. So it's an even. You know what I'm saying? It's an even platform. You know what I'm saying? So I'm speaking about men, women, and bitches. Meaning there can be bitches can be male or female. There's no
no gender.
There's no gender in that. You know what I'm saying? There's no prejudice.
Non-binary.
Exactly. There's no prejudice in that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
When did you write the book?
Well, I wrote the book. It all started off as notes.
Okay.
Just notes to self. When you're incarcerated, you have a lot of time to yourself. So I'm jotting down everything, all these notes to myself, everything, all these goals that I want to accomplish once I'm released, and all my notes turned into daily quotes, and my daily quotes turned into a chapter, and that chapter turned into another chapter, and that chapter turned into another chapter, and I look up 6 months later, I have 60 chapters. So what would you do? I made it into a book.
How many pages?
It's really 360 pages, but because I figured that people don't read as much, I broke everything down into quick reads.
Okay.
4 volumes. So each volume is about 80 to 90 pages long. So once you purchase all 4 volumes, it equals out to a full 300-page book.
How many books have you sold so far, and how are you selling the books? And are you putting the books online, or are you just like hand to hand?
The books are not for sale online. Remarkably, I have sold to date 612 copies just by word of mouth. Just by word of mouth. So
hold on 1 second. One second. Had something about the sound. Hey, Randy, work on the background noise as observation. Try to portable. Okay. Tell about the no. Oh no, we're in the barbershop, so
we're in the barbershop. Y'all catching me
closer.
live. We got to go with whatever's in the back. You know what I mean? In the background. We apologize for that, but you know what I'm saying? This is a live reciprocal audience.
Live, live.
You know what I'm saying? This is a live reciprocal audience.
Now, you said it's 300 and how many pages?
It's 330 pages long.
And you broke it up into
4 volumes. So each book is about 85 to 90 pages long.
Now, do you have a different title for each volume, or is the same title in like volume 1, volume 2?
Right. It's the same title and everything. It's volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4. You know, but the color of the book changes. Whatever. The second volume is already wrote as always. Second, third, fourth volume already wrote. Just got to get pressed and pushed out to the people. It'll be out spring of 2023.
Oh, I forgot.
Right.
I got thrown off. So how many books have you sold, and how are you selling them to the people?
Like I said before, I'm at 612 copies, and I'm basically selling them just off word of mouth and because of who you are. You know what I mean?
Wait, how many copies have you sold?
612 copies.
That's 612 copies with no internet sales.
Right.
Straight hand to hand.
No internet sales. Not one internet sale. Not one internet sale.
What they going for?
The books are $20. You get your own bag. It comes with its own personal bag or whatever the case may be. And I will ship it to you wherever you are at. Yeah.
But
or you can come in the shop. Yeah,
you paying for shipping, son.
Right. It'll cost you. Not that much, but it's going to cost you. So, it's a wonderful thing.
That's dope.
Considering where I came from and what I've been through.
Now, you said you were incarcerated.
Right.
When you were incarcerated, what made you change your thinking? It was like, when I get out of here, I'm doing something positive to, like, sustain me, plus my family, and, like, I don't want to go back to this shit.
Well, this is my personal, you know, like I said before, this is my personal opinion, this is my personal belief. No one leaves jail the same. Everyone is released either better or worse. And during the time that I was incarcerated 24 months. And during that time, you can make the best of your time or you can make the worst of your time. So when I came out, I just decided to do something better with myself. You know what I mean? And it changed me for the better. Because jail will change you for either the better or the worse. No one leaves jail the exact same way they went in. That's impossible. They have to come out either better. They're going to come out either better or worse. You know what I mean? So when I got out, everything that I developed and my writing and meditation that I went through while I was incarcerated, I applied all that to my future endeavors. You know what I mean? And I just went from there.
What can you say about the power of positive thinking? So, like, think something, for instance, like the book. You thought about the book,
right? You
wrote the book, and then you manifested it. Now it's here. You know what I'm saying?
What can I say about that? It has a bearing on you. It's either like you can let it consume you in a negative way or a positive way, but I let it consume me in a positive way because I could have got out and did something. I could have went back to the old me. You know what I mean? But when you get out, you're either going to want to live for yourself or you're going to live for the people that you love and cherish. So when I got out, I decided to live more so for the people that I love and cherish. And that caused me to stay on that right track.
Gotcha.
Because that's, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of things that I've done in my past that made me who I am. You know, we all make mistakes. We all have flaws. And you have to learn from your mistakes. You know what I mean? And I was just one of them people that was able to learn from my mistakes and move forward in a positive manner. You know?
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Oh, if tuned in late, y'all didn't notice, but me and Mike grew up together in Eastwood.
Yes, sir. 1620 Grove Street.
Right in the big hill up in the back trails.
Do you remember that day I dislocated my collarbone? Do you remember that day? I'll never forget what you said. What? You could replace a bite but you can't replace a what? A life. Do you remember that? Do you remember that beat?
I remember like the.
And it was me, you,
it
was
Grant,
me, you, Grant, and Eddie Stewart.
Yeah,
and Eddie Stewart got the hollering and dumped the fence and ran to the crib. Yeah. And y'all walked me to the crib, and luckily, I didn't have a broken bone, but I dislocated my collarbone. Yeah. But, yeah, that was in. We was at Simmons, man. We was in 7th grade.
Were we at Simmons or
Johnson? We weren't at Johnson. We was at Simmons. Because we were still on bikes. When we still on bikes when we was at Johnson?
I think it was a Johnson.
6th grade? Who was our teacher at Johnson? 6th grade. Was it Mr. Adams or Miss Gollinger?
Miss Gollinger was 6th. Mr. Adams was 5th.
So Miss Gollinger. Remember that day? Shout out to my boy Grant. Much love. Remember that day?
We was in class, right?
She bent over and she smacked him. Remember that?
And Grant was about to beat up the teacher.
Yeah. He was mad. She asked him to pick some up on the floor. He knocked on the floor, right? Yeah. Shout out my boy Grant Hadnot.
Grant Hadnot.
For real. Much love. I remember, who was the king of Foursquare?
I'm just, ain't gonna brag or nothing, son, but Eastwood was holding it down in grade school.
Most definitely. We that was the highlight of our day, Foursquare.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Tetherball.
Yeah, I remember that. Man. Yeah, there was some good old times, man.
That's what's up.
Back then, everything wasn't how it is now. It may have been, but it wasn't in our space at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yo, I'm here with the man with 2 first names, Christopher Fenley.
Right.
Tell them about your book one last time.
The name of the book is called Men, Women, and Bitches. You can purchase it from me. You can come up to the shop. I'm at 52 South Lake Street, J Boogie Shop, does shop. In Aurora, Illinois, Lake Street, 52 South Lake Street. Come check us out. The book is $20. It comes with its own personal bag. I have sold to date 612 copies.
So y'all,
and the next volume will be out spring 2023, along with the Eastwood reunion, summer of 2023. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a big event. It's going to be a big event. So we're going to have live music. We're going to have dancing. We're going to have spade games, chess tournaments. It's going to be grown adult bounce houses. It's going to be wild, man. It's going to be wild.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about giving back and going back to where it all started for me, and just showing my love for people who show love for me.
Oh, most of y'all don't know we stepbrothers.
Yes.
Most of y'all don't know that.
Can I tell them the story? All right,
go ahead, tell the story.
His mom, rest in peace. Our house had burned down out in Eastwood, and I was staying with Zach now for a little bit, and then we had got into a little riff, and I left there, and I'm living in the streets and abandoned houses and 25-hour laundromats. So Cleo, remember Cleo? It stayed on the end. Yeah. So Cleo was like, well, you can live here, just give me $40 every paycheck, this and this and that. So one night, I get off work and I come there, Cleo was not there. So I'm knocking on the door, she's not answering. So I go around to the back door, she still ain't answering. Cause remember, she lived on the end and y'all lived on the other end. So I'm knocking on the back door, she's not answering. So I come around to the front and the window's cracked. So I'm taking out the screen, real shit. So I'm taking out the screen trying to get in the window, and your mom pull up in the gray car with the black top. Right. What was it?
You said a quarter electric Buick, son.
Right. So she pulled up and she was like, Mike Fenley, what you doing? So she seen me halfway in the window and halfway out. And she was like, Mike Fenley, what you doing going in that window? I'm like, well, I paid Cleo to sleep on the couch because I don't have nowhere to live. And she said, boy, get up out that window and come down here to my home. And when I went down there, she was like, she talked to me for about 5-10 minutes, and she was like, well, Brandy got an extra bed up in the room. Go upstairs. That's where you're going to be at tonight. Went upstairs, chopped it up with you, and it was what it was. And then a couple of weeks later, she was like, well, how do you feel about me adopting you? And I was like, I'm with that. But unfortunately, I ended up moving to Florida. and I was down there for 2 years. And I moved to Florida with my brother. I was down there for 2 years, but if I would have stayed here, your mom definitely would have adopted me. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Most definitely. And to this day, I will be always eternally grateful to your mom for that.
What's up?
And
I can't be crying on. I can't be
crying
and nothing like
that's
that.
why I consider right. And that's why to this day I will always consider you and your sisters my brother and sister.
Appreciate it, man.
And as a matter of fact, it was in the wintertime, so it was so it was clutch, you know what I'm saying? So it was clutch, you know what I'm saying? It was clutch. It kind of cold, a little nippy outside, you know what I'm saying? I had my Detroit Pistons pro players coat. Remember I had my Detroit Pistons coat. So yeah, man. So your mom was definitely clutch, and I will always hold her dear to my heart.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? And one thing about me is that I never forget where I come from.
Damn, I can't start crying out here, cuz.
You know what? I gotta keep it real.
I can't start crying.
And that's
come on, man.
And that's one thing we never chop up is that I will always be grateful to your mom, man, and your family because y'all took me out of the cold, man, and gave me a place to lay my head, man. And I remember you had that desk in your room. Remember that?
Yeah. And I still got it.
Really?
I still got it. I gave it to Kai, but yeah, but I took it back.
And rest in peace to Dwayne.
Yeah, man.
Rest in peace to Dwayne.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Dwayne.
Yep.
And I will always be eternally grateful for the people that have always been here for me when I had nothing at all because I was in a bad place at the time in my life. And your mom, you know, she came through for me, her and Joe. And I'll always be grateful for that.
Oh, like I think I had lost my job or like I was up in between jobs, right? So,
Right.
I was trying to get a haircut, so like
Right.
So like I would go to Mike and be like, "Hey, cut my hair and I'll get you next Friday."
it was nothing to talk
so,
about.
like you cut my hair and then like next Friday, I hit my, like with the money and stuff. But yeah, you know,
it's always been love because one thing about me is that I'm not perfect and we all go through things. But one thing I'll never do is I never turn my back on my past. I never turn my back on what made me. You know what I mean? So that's why every year when they have
you
back
got me out here crying and shit, Mike.
My bad, baby. My bad. I'm just trying to keep it a buck.
I hear you.
So that's why every year when they do the back to school event, I'm first one in line because when they first did it, they did it in Eastwood, and I was first one out there because I used to be one of them kids, and when we was growing up, they never had nothing like that.
True.
The only thing that came through that looked out for us was
Blue
First
Bus.
Apostolic Church, the Blue Bus, and Riverwood.
Yeah.
Shout out to Riverwood's camp.
Right.
So that's all we had. So for everything to be going on how it is now, I love to see that.
That's what's up.
I love to see that, man, and it gives us hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From where we come from, man. You know what I mean?
True.
So in this world of such a dark cloud, all the mass shootings and killings and senseless violence.
So we need some positivity, some light.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So we've been locked in, man, 30 plus years, bro.
30 plus years, son.
And I never forget where I come from or what made me who I am.
Eastwood, son.
You know, East Side, Eastwood, 1620 Grove Street.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean?
I want to thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes, most definitely.
This is Christopher Fenley.
Love y'all.
Tell them the address one last time.
You can catch me at 52 South Lake Street, J Boogie Shop, The Shop.
Tell them
I'm
all
here
that
7 days a week. I do hair color. I do short styles, long styles, silk presses. I do, did I say eyebrows already?
Nope.
I do short styles, short cuts, long cuts, afros, fades, bald fades. You
do braids, right?
Yes, I do braids, but I will refer them to my girl Keisha. My Keisha Johnson, Shariah Love. Shout out to my people. I love y'all. Yeah, that's what it is. You know, to all the ladies that do braids, I give shout out to them. To all the people that do hair, I give a shout out to them. I give much love to them because the people that's been doing it longer than me, I love them and I represent them, and I'm a prodigy of their work. So everyone that came before me,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Derek Duff, Kevin, Orlando. Shout out to my boy Orlando. Shout out to my boy, rest in peace to Bam, Kenny Davis. Everybody that cut hair when we was growing up, Philip Hair Salon.
Right.
Everybody that did hair before me. Rest in peace, my boy Byron. I give a shout out to everybody that come before me and that laid the groundwork for me. So everybody that did hair before me, I'm their prodigy. I'm a prodigy of their work. You know what I mean? So I love what I do. I feel like I've only been at this a couple of months, and I got 25 years in this.
Damn,
you know what they say, when you love what you do, it's like you never worked a day in your life.
True. On that note, we're going to be out. I want to thank Mike Fenley.
Much love. Go grab the book. If you don't have it, give me a call. You can reach me at 331-300-7195, or you can stop by the shop, 52 South Lake Street. I'm here 7 days a week. It's called Dutch Shop. You can come by and check me out, or you can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram.
When you see people up in the community doing positive things, try to support them, because a lot of times it feels like you're by yourself because people don't support you and you're out here trying to represent your people. So like when you see a person doing some positive things, trying to make some change, stuff in their environment, make sure you support them. On that note, KIK representing POBUMS with my man Mike.
God bless Team Too Strong.
And we out. Oh wait. The initials up on your Facebook when you
the JMT.
What does that mean? The IIWLO.
Everything be like a little, you know what I'm saying, a little very subliminal.
Okay.
The JMT stands for Just My Thoughts.
Okay.
And the IIWI means it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I love you and I appreciate you, my brother.
I love you too, man. That's what's up.
For sure.
All right. Mike got me on here crying and shit. All right. Peace.